one of the main things about it is that it is psychological.
Mhm.
And for the viewer to understand the psychological impact, there has to be that time for things to happen for myself in the movie to go through things and, slowly.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of situations where, a lot of the movies about your dynamic with the nurse, and, you don't often get that like instant gratification. I want this, and then it's automatically handed to you. Like you have to kind of wait for them to eventually come to you and do whatever task you want to do after some time. I know I've been with you uh, or like on the phone with you where you're calling for like 50 minutes sometimes or something crazy like that. And
Wow, yeah.
they just forget.
Another point I think is that this movie is kind of an amalgamation of all the different experiences.
Yeah.
Or most of them that I've had with nurses. Since we're trying to put all of those into the film, that's why it's another reason it has to kind of take a little bit longer than just 15 minutes or so.
It's representing you and not just like necessarily one nurse, even though it really is one nurse for the film, but it's all these different experiences you've had. And not to say you don't have good nursing staff as well, obviously, but since I've known you, you've constantly been like going through different nurses for a variety of reasons. And because, a lot of people don't necessarily want to do the job, you're kind of stuck with some of those less competent nursing staff. And so that's kind of what we're getting at too, is that there's only so much you can do about it to a certain extent. And I think that was certainly for me the main reason why I wanted to do this, was just to show what it's like in not just your experience. I know you've talked to most of your friends that are disabled, and they all have this experience.
I think there's a lot of nuance in communication that we are trying to show in this film. And to show all those different little subtle things, it takes, a little more time.
Exactly. And the thing I would be most upset about with this film is people feeling like, they didn't understand your experience. A lot of my friends who don't know someone who's disabled, it's sort of like people that like are racist but haven't hung out with a minority. Like they'll see like a ramp and they'll be like, oh well, they're disabled friendly, but that ramp might be at like an angle like this that you can't get up, or just inaccessibility free, really. And I feel like people who aren't disabled or don't know someone who's disabled, they have trouble understanding and empathizing. And that's really what we're trying to get across, is showing people an experience that maybe they're not familiar with. For what we have, I really think we kind of dive into it, and especially, as you say, the psychological side of it and the horror side. Some people have said this is like documentary horror, but kind of going into really your emotions and what it feels like to be in this situation. What, something that may seem like frivolous or whatever, it actually like cuts into you emotionally. And that's something I feel like a lot of people don't really, cover as much in this country, is the emotional pain that people suffer.
A quick shout out to my Uncle Dave, who for this month is matching up to $1,000 of donations. Very thankful for that.
And Judy is his wife's name, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Judy and Dave Stalker. And if we hit the $9,000 mark from you guys by the end of this month, that means by the end, he's going to cover the last 1,000 and we'll officially reach our full goal on GoFundMe.
We're so close.
So yeah, keep up with us on Facebook, Instagram, our GoFundMe page, obviously. And yeah, Thank you all.